Hi, I'm Teja Gerken with Peghead Nation, and I'm here with a very cool Preston Thompson OM model guitar. I've had a chance to check out a few Preston Thompson OMs, and they're always very impressive guitars that really remind me of some of the best vintage OMs that I've played. And so I was very excited when Thompson offered to send us this particular guitar for a demo. This guitar is built with an Adirondack spruce top, which is what Thompson uses on most of their guitars, and sinker mahogany back and sides. Really beautiful sinker mahogany. Sinker, of course, means that the wood has been submerged, usually in a river or a lake. And what that does is it crystallizes the wood in a certain way and ages it. It really tends to have very nice sonic properties. It also usually means that the wood came from very old growth trees, because in most cases it's been logged a long time ago and late submerged for, in some cases, decades. I'm not quite exactly sure of the history of this particular wood, but it's a beautiful set. Now, I really like mahogany guitars in general. I really like the clarity that you tend to get with mahogany back and sides. Especially on OMs, it tends to just really lead to a guitar with a lot of sparkle, a lot of great balance, and that's exactly what this guitar offers. It's just a really, really well-balanced guitar, really fun to play. Now, OMs are always very versatile guitars, being kind of mid-range, having the long scale that you would have on a dreadnought, and just really offering a lot of performance and a lot of sort of, if you need one guitar to do everything, I always tell people, start looking at OMs, because they really do offer a lot of different things like that. So this guitar doesn't deviate too much from the standard Thompson OM model. You can tell it has the tobacco sunburst finish, which is quite beautifully executed on this guitar. Really nice transition from the kind of light yellowish center here to the darker sides. Beautifully done. I mentioned the woods, of course, which should take center stage on a guitar that's fairly plainly appointed, and it does so quite well. The Adirondack spruce top on this guitar has a little bit of bear claw right here in the lower bout, and that's something you don't see too often on Adirondack spruce. Beautifully grained as well. Some of the bear claw figure also goes over here in the area between the bridge and the sound hole. The appointments on the guitar, as I mentioned, are relatively simple, as pretty much as a vintage OM would be, but with a few little variations. It has the tortoise style binding on the body that you might find on an 18 style guitar. Basic black and white purfling on the perimeter of the top. Basic 3-ring 18 style rosette. And the fingerboard inlay is the old style 18, is what Thompson calls this. Beautiful abalone dots inlaid in the face of the fingerboard. Of course, there are also position markers on the side. Now, one thing that is a custom feature on this particular guitar, and also one that you wouldn't see on a vintage OM style guitar, is that it has what's essentially purfling on the edge of the fingerboard, and you can see it running down both sides as well as the end of the fingerboard here. And that's a very kind of simple but classy addition that I think really adds a nice look to this instrument. The guitar has a figured ebony peghead overlay with the Thompson logo inlaid here in the top, and open back Waverly tuners on the solid peghead. So if we take a look at the back of the guitar one more time, just a simple center strip between the two back halves, no purfling on the back, just the tortoiseshell binding, just a very business-like appearance all the way around, enhanced, of course, with the sunburst finish and a few little details such as the purfling on the fingerboard. So again, basically 18 style with a few little tweaks. And just playing the guitar, I got a flat pick here now. That clarity that you get from the mahogany, just every time I pick this guitar up, it really strikes me. really nice for strumming as well. It would be a great guitar to strum, especially in the context of other instruments where you need that brightness, that clarity to cut through. But it doesn't come at the expense of not having enough low end, because there's quite a bit of bass happening. It's just that it's not muddy at all. If I dig in a little bit harder, the guitar produces quite a bit of volume. Very comfortable to play as well. This particular guitar has a nut width of 1 23/32, so very comfortable to play. I'd say this neck shape leans a little bit more toward the contemporary feel than like a heavy V shape, even though Thompson does call this their soft V shape, the emphasis being on soft. I can barely tell that it's a V, but extremely comfortable, both if you're playing with a thumb behind the fingerboard or if you kind of wrap your thumb around. Just a really comfortable neck for, I'd say, every playing style, but of course everybody has certain preferences of what they like. But I find this to be a very comfortable and inviting neck to play. So that is the Thompson Sinca Mahogany OM. Of course, Thompson can build you an OM with pretty much any specs that you want. This is a good example of something that doesn't deviate from a standard model too much. And it's great to see this Sinca Mahogany being put to use on an OM-style guitar. And I definitely recommend you check out Thompson instruments, whether it's an OM or some other kind of vintage-inspired instrument that you might be in the market for. I'm going to go out showing you what it sounds like if I'm tuning it to DADGAD, playing a little bit more fingerstyle on it, which I find is something that OMs really excel at, and it's what I use OMs for a lot. And yeah, definitely come back here to Peghead Nation to check out more of our gear demos. Find a Thompson guitar at one of their dealers, and we'll talk to you soon. My name is Teja Gerken.